He thought it would be just another ordinary day, another chance to land his dream job. Dressed in his best suit and carrying a folder full of carefully prepared documents, he was walking briskly toward the interview when something unusual caught his eye. A young woman in a wheelchair had dropped her bag in the middle of the sidewalk, struggling to reach it. Without thinking twice, he rushed over, helped her gather her things, and made sure she was steady. Little did he know, this small act of kindness would turn his entire life upside down. As he apologized for being late and rushed on to his interview, he couldn't shake the feeling that something about her had felt different, important even. He didn't realize that this wheelchair-bound girl, whom he had helped without a second thought, held a secret that could change everything. She wasn't just anyone, she was the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the city, a name he had seen on headlines but never imagined meeting in person. He walked into the building, unsure if he would even get a second chance at the interview, completely unaware that the very person he had helped might hold the key to his future. And what happened next? Well, that's where the story takes an unexpected turn. He entered the sleek office building, heart pounding and mind racing. Every step echoed against the marble floors as he tried to calm himself. The receptionist greeted him politely, but his mind kept drifting back to the girl in the wheelchair. Who was she really? And why did helping her feel so different from anything he'd done before? He couldn't shake the image of her determined eyes, the quiet strength she carried even as she struggled. That as he waited for his turn, he glanced around at the busy office, noticing the framed articles on the walls and the awards displayed in glass cases. It was then that he recognized her name on one of the plaques, the same name he had seen in the headlines about the company's latest breakthroughs. His stomach dropped. Could it really be the same girl he had helped just moments ago? Meanwhile, somewhere across the building, she was finishing an important meeting, unaware that the young man she had encountered outside might soon enter her world in ways neither of them could have imagined. There was a tension in the air, unspoken yet powerful, a connection neither understood fully yet. And as the elevator doors opened, he stepped inside, unaware that the moment of truth was just seconds away. The elevator doors closed behind him, and the hum of the machinery seemed louder than ever. His mind raced with questions he couldn't answer. How could fate bring him face to face with someone so powerful in the most ordinary way? He thought about his own life, the struggles to pay rent, the countless interviews that ended in disappointment, the constant worry that opportunity would pass him by. And yet, in that fleeting moment on the sidewalk, he had felt something he hadn't in a long time: purpose. Meanwhile, she sat in her office, reviewing reports and making decisions that affected hundreds of employees, completely unaware of the ripple she had caused in one young man's life. She was used to people noticing her for her position, her wealth, her influence, but this stranger had seen only her struggle, offered help without hesitation, without expectation. Something about that simplicity unsettled her more than she expected. As he waited outside the interview room, he overheard colleagues discussing company policies and future projects, and the weight of the opportunity pressed on him even more. The door to the interview room opened, and he was called inside. His palms were sweaty, heart hammering as he stepped across the threshold, carrying a mix of nervous energy and lingering thoughts about the girl in the wheelchair. He tried to focus on the questions, but every answer felt distant, his mind replaying the morning's encounter over and over. Who was she really? Could he have guessed the truth if he had only looked closer? Meanwhile, across the city, she was preparing for an important board presentation, unaware that her chance encounter had already set events in motion. Her assistant mentioned a young man who had come in for an interview, praising his punctuality, but she couldn't shake a small, nagging thought, a memory of a kind gesture that had interrupted someone's rush. The same moment she had felt strangely grateful and unsettled. Back in the office, tension built as he answered question after question. The interviewers impressed yet questioning why he seemed distracted. Just as the final question was posed, the elevator doors opened behind him unexpectedly, and she appeared, moving toward the room. Their eyes met, and in that instant, time seemed to freeze. Both realized that the ordinary morning act of kindness had spiraled into something far bigger than either had imagined, and the room held a silence heavier than any words could fill. She paused just outside the interview room, taking a deep breath as she realized who he was. The young man who had helped her moments ago, the one who had shown genuine care without knowing her identity, was now sitting across from her future colleagues, completely unaware of the storm about to unfold. For a second she hesitated. This was no ordinary interview anymore. Every decision she made in the next few minutes could change not only his life but the trajectory of her own company. Inside the room, he noticed the familiar presence but didn't yet understand the connection. When she finally stepped in, introducing herself formally as the CEO, his mind raced. Confusion, shock, and a strange sense of familiarity collided. How could the girl he had helped be the person in charge? And why did she seem hesitant, almost unsettled, as if there was something she wasn't telling him? Just as he tried to process the revelation, a phone buzzed on her desk. Her assistant whispered something urgent, eyes wide. The message contained news that threatened the company's biggest deal, a crisis only she could resolve immediately. He saw her face tighten with tension, realizing that not only was this a pivotal moment in the interview, but the stakes had suddenly escalated far beyond a single job. In that room, A simple act of kindness had become a catalyst for chaos, and neither of them knew how far the consequences would reach. He watched in stunned silence as she quickly handled the urgent situation, her calm authority leaving everyone in the room in awe. In those tense minutes, he realized that the girl he had helped wasn't just a CEO in title, she was a leader who commanded respect, made split-second decisions, and inspired loyalty with every word. As the crisis was averted, she turned to him, eyes locking with his. There was a flicker of something unspoken, a recognition of the courage and empathy he had shown earlier, the same qualities that now seemed more valuable than any resume or credentials. Your interview doesn't matter anymore, she said softly, a small smile breaking the tension. You've already proven something far more important today. His heart raced, not fully comprehending what she meant, but sensing that his life was about to change forever. Just as relief began to settle, her assistant returned with a message that made both of them freeze. The company's biggest competitor had caught wind of the crisis and was making a move that could alter everything. She turned back to him, determination blazing in her eyes. We're going to need to act fast, together. In that instant, what started as a simple act of kindness had turned into an unexpected partnership, and neither of them knew exactly where it would lead. But they both understood one thing: nothing would ever be the same again. They worked side by side, a team forged in the most unexpected way. His ideas, grounded in practical experience and empathy, complemented her strategic vision perfectly. The competitor's move was countered, the deal secured, and the office erupted in quiet celebration. Through it all, he realized that helping someone without expecting anything in return could lead to opportunities far beyond imagination. She too reflected on the encounter. For years, people had only seen her as a CEO, a figurehead defined by power and decisions. But his simple act of kindness reminded her that real leadership wasn't just about titles or achievements, it was about connecting with people, seeing them, and trusting them. In him, she found a partner who shared those values. After the chaos settled, she turned to him with a genuine smile. I think this is the start of something bigger than either of us expected, she said. He nodded, still amazed that a moment of compassion on a crowded sidewalk had led to this turning point in both their lives. As they left the office together, the sun setting over the city, it was clear that one act of kindness had not only changed a career but also sparked a bond built on trust, respect, and shared vision. And sometimes, the smallest gestures can lead to the greatest changes.